Counterfeit Streamlights. Oh no! I'm John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and today I'm going to talk to you about counterfeit flashlights. Now, to give you a little bit of a backstory, I was searching for a smaller and lighter light to be able to carry with me in my everyday carry rotation. The reason for this is currently I carry a Glock 19, and this one is customized by Danger Close Armament. This is their signature series Glock, and we've talked about it before. And it has a RMR on top and an Inforce APLC weapon light on the weapon. So what that does is it gives me a great illumination tool to identify a target if I need to engage a target. Now, what happens if you don't need to engage a target? Well, that's where my lovely cell phone comes in. If you drop your keys in the theater, etc., this is a great tool to have. You know, most of the cell phones now, you just really quickly, bang, you got a flashlight. You can look around, you can see what's going on, and see what you need. Obviously, a cell phone is a very poor option for a weapon light. You're not going to be able to hold your cell phone up and be able to utilize a weapon light, not backlight yourself, and all kinds of ugliness. So for that, you need a better option. Now again, with the APLC on the Glock, if it's not a utility situation where it's a non-gun situation, then I can use the cell phone. When it's a gun situation, I can come up with the APLC and I have the ability to identify a target and engage. Well, I've been looking for a lighter weight, more minimalist concealed carry option, and so that caused me to take a look at the Glock 43. So I still have the same ammunition, still have the 9mm. I can still run pretty good defensive ammunition in this gun. It's just a single stack, fewer rounds, so I need to make sure I do what I need to do with the first few. But this is nice and thin, it's very minimal, it's great for carrying in places where not printing and not showing your hand is very, very important. But we don't have a weapon light on it. Now, there are guys out there that are putting TLR 6s on this gun. You could put an optic on here. You could build this out really exactly like the Glock 19, but then the thing is the size and weight of the Glock 19. I might as well just go with the bigger grip and the higher capacity magazines of the 19. So that's why I want to stick with this guy. But now we don't have that weapon light on the gun, so I need a smaller, more compact weapon light or more compact flashlight that I can utilize in lieu of a weapon light when it comes time to fire a shot. Now, this guy I have right here is the Phoenix P35 TAC that I have been trying out. I've been carrying this in my uniform pocket. It is a great little light, and we'll be doing a full review on this soon. But carrying this in plain clothes, the diameter of it's a little bit larger than the CR123 batteries. It does take up a little bit of extra space, and you do notice it if you're wearing it in cargo shorts or jeans or whatever. It's got some diameter to it, so unless you're wearing big baggy pants, when you clip it inside your slash pocket on your jeans, you definitely notice it's there, especially when you sit down and move around. So this isn't an ideal option. It definitely has enough power that I can utilize it as a weapon light. I utilize it at work. In fact, this has been my go-to light, especially since it is rechargeable for whenever I'm getting out on traffic stops and that kind of thing. But again, I still have a weapon light on my duty light, so I haven't been doing a ton of shooting with this guy. But I wanted a smaller option. So I was on Amazon and I was going through, getting ready to check out, and I noticed the Streamlight Microstream. Now, this is nothing compared to the Phoenix. The Streamlight's only got about 45 lumens, and the Phoenix has a whole lot of horsepower behind it. But it runs on a AAA battery, a single AAA, so it is very small, very diminutive. It is about the size of a fat ballpoint pen as far as diameter, so it's something very easy to clip into your pocket and forget you have it. So I saw it. It was 18 bucks, $17.99. I have free shipping through my Prime account, so I went ahead and threw it in the checkout box. Checked out. It shipped to me really rapidly along with my other stuff, which is one of the huge benefits of having Prime. And I got in it, pulled it out. It came in a Streamlight blister pack, really professional looking. It's got all the specs on the back of it. I busted it open, put a battery into it, and started looking it over, and it really was not the same quality as I see in my other Streamlight products. I mentioned my other weapon light. That actually is a Streamlight TLR1HL, so I'm familiar with the finish, familiar with the workings on Streamlights. I've carried them for a good while. This one didn't quite seem up to snuff, but, you know, again, it was a $18 light, so I wasn't expecting super high quality for that price. It's also an import. It's made overseas. It's not made here in the US, so, you know, you have to accept a certain level of quality. Well, then I started looking at the different features on it, and the reviews and all the information I read on it said that it was a tactical style switch. Well, what we normally find with tactical style switches is that when you begin to press the switch, then you'll get momentary on. When you press it all the way in, you'll usually get a click, and the light will remain on through that entire process. So once you get that half press and the light comes on, it will stay on all the way until you click it, and then it stays constant on. When you want to shut it off, you push the button all the way in until it clicks, and then when you release, the light will go off. The reason that that is preferred for tactical lights is because I can have the light totally shut off, and then I need to come up and illuminate a target. I come up with a half press, illuminate. If I need to stop shooting and move, or if I need to move to a position of cover, I just release the button and the light goes back out. That's the way we normally train with tactical style flashlights, and that's what those of us that have used them for a while are used to. Well, the Streamlight, and you get where I'm going with this, when I started playing with it, notice that when you half press the tail cap, nothing happens. If you push it all the way in until it clicks, you still have nothing until you start to release it after the click. And when you release it after the click, the light comes on. To turn the light off again, you're pushing it all the way in, and half press turns it off, but you still have to push it all the way in to click. If you release it from the half press, the light's back on. So push it all the way in until it clicks again, and then release it, it's off. So that means in order to utilize it in a momentary mode, I need to first turn it on, let it click, release the button, and then half press it to hold it off, and then release it to have it come on. So it works exactly opposite the way a true tactical tail cap works. Now when we go to the legit Streamlight Microstream here, half press and the light comes on. A full press and it clicks and the light locks on. Half press again, nothing, 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 click, and then release, the light goes off. That's the way it should work. So that threw up a red flag, plus the fact that the covering on the switch is very light, very kind of sticky feeling. It really doesn't feel like high quality rubber that's going to last for a while. Usually with these kind of very light rubber coverings, once you use that tail cap switch for a while, the inner plastic stem of the switch will end up poking through them, and they're no longer water resistant anymore. Then we come to things like the cap, or the tail clip here. Sorry, tail clip. The pocket clip. That's what I was looking for. The pocket clip here is one of the big features that is touted on the Streamlight. They talk about a 2-position pocket clip. This guy is only a 1-position. It's just like a regular clip that you find on a ballpoint pen or something. The legit Microstream, the clip goes 2 ways. Either it clips this way so you can clip it onto the bill of your cap, or it clips the opposite way for pocket storage. So another thing to look at. And then when you compare these two side by side, the actual body is completely different. Now, the issue that I have with this, if this flashlight was billed as just some knockoff brand flashlight, it would probably be a decent deal at that price point. It may be the $15 to $18 price point. This is a great thing just to chuck in your glove box, to have to poke around in your car, or throw in your suitcase so you have a light to look in your bag if you need to. Just whatever, just a general utility light. This knockoff one probably would have been pretty good, but you put the Streamlight name brand on it, and then you throw it in a Streamlight package in order to trick buyers, and that just really is a dirty thing. Now, if you will notice here, what happened after the fact is I found out I got a counterfeit. I went ahead and submitted a dispute with Amazon, told Amazon it was a counterfeit. They had no problem with refunding my money, so I got all my cash back. That's one of the nice things with Amazon is if you do get a counterfeit, they will generally refund you very rapidly. And of course, they didn't want the light back, so now I've got a counterfeit Streamlight to do whatever with. Maybe give it to one of my kids, I don't know. Then, knowing that I could have just ordered another one, there were some people in the comments that obviously had gotten a legitimate one, but it's rolling the dice on if I'm going to get another counterfeit, because Amazon just throws all these in the same bin, and when they fulfill, they're just pulling one from that bin. So I didn't want to take the chance on that, and I wanted to make sure I got a legitimate one to be able to do this video and let you guys know the difference between them. So I went on Midway and I purchased a legitimate Microstream, and what amazed me is the insert cards for these are exactly the same. Exactly the same. So this is happening really at the source on the other side. These two cards are printed in, I will say, almost exactly the same place. Even the revision numbers and everything on the internal card is the same. So they look like they are coming from the same factory. It looks like just one stack of these insert cards is going to package with the legitimate ones, and the other ones are going on another line to be packaged with the counterfeits. Now, the bubble pack, the legitimate Microstream, comes with a AAA battery in it, and it comes with a lanyard as well. So the actual bubble pack is a different shape than this one. But if you saw this hanging in your supermarket, you would not know the difference, and it is exactly the same. But once I actually got the legitimate model out and looked at it, it is definitely a higher quality light than the Microstream. And if I do my totally unscientific test here and shine them down, the counterfeit has a little bit bluer tint to it, but it almost looks like it might be just a shade brighter than the regular Microstream. The difference, though, is in the construction. The legitimate one definitely feels better built. It feels better finished. The knockoff feels a little bit cheaper finish, a little bit cheaper build. The pocket clip has a nasty rubber coating on it that is more than likely going to flake off here soon. And again, we talked about the cheap tail cap. The legitimate Streamlight has a really nice textured tail cap on it, and between the texturing on the tail cap and the way the pocket clip is, I could actually use this in a syringe grip as a tactical light with a handgun. So if I had to come up with a handgun, I can actually use this now as a legit weapon light, whereas the way the knockoff is, and with the guard on the side of it, there's really no way that I could use this as a legitimate weapon light. So this will be my new pocket buddy when I'm carrying my 43, and I think this will work very well for my intended purpose. Again, the knockoff, not so much. If you were just looking for a cheap flashlight to give to your kids, the knockoff probably would have been good, but they're poisoning the pool now because I can't just go grab another Microstream off of Amazon, throw it into my cart, and not have to pay extra shipping without worrying that I would get another counterfeit. So it's really a pretty bad thing. Now, I don't know that it's even worth Streamlight's while to try to go after these counterfeiters, because they are surely selling quite a few of their legitimate lights through Amazon. So it might backfire on them to try to make this a big publicity thing. And trying to actually hunt down the counterfeiters and prevent these from coming into the country, that is very, very difficult. I know B&T Industries has been fighting this for a while with counterfeits of the Atlas bipods. This is obviously nowhere near that, because getting stung on an $18 flashlight isn't that big of a deal. But if I didn't know better, if I didn't know to look at it and didn't know the way this light should have worked, it would have been very easy for me to get this guy in, think it was a Streamlight until there was a failure on it, and then send it back to Streamlight and find out that it's not a legitimate product and I was just out of luck. So if you want to pick up a Streamlight Microstream, which again, I think it's a very, very good light for the price. Be very cautious on where you purchase them from. Go with a larger retailer like Midway, Brownells, B&H Photo sells these, and B&H is great on shipping. They're really fast. We're not sponsored by them. We're not even an affiliate with B&H. But I get a lot of camera gear and video gear from B&H, and they are good to go. And they sell these as well. So make sure you go to a name brand company or one of the bigger companies and make sure that they do offer a decent return policy. So if you get a counterfeit, then you know what to do. Now, I'm going to post some close-up pictures of the two side by side. And when you hold them side by side, there's really no question. You can tell very quickly which one is the counterfeit and which one is the legitimate one, because the only thing that is the same between the two is the size and the silk screening on the side of it that says Microstream. Everything else is pretty different between the two. So again, you can tell just by looking at them, but it's difficult to tell because when you pick up the counterfeit, like on Amazon, they're showing you pictures of the real one until it actually shows up. You won't know you get a counterfeit until you take it out of the package and actually look at it. So that is the skinny on the counterfeit Streamlight Microstreams. Hopefully you guys haven't gotten stung by them. Actually, I want to thank the audience though too, because I had posted pictures of the counterfeit before I realized that it was a counterfeit on Instagram, and a bunch of you guys jumped up and said, hey, that's not a legit copy. So thank you to you guys. That caused me to look into it a little bit closer and caused us to make this video. If you guys have any questions or comments on the Streamlight Microstream or anything else we discussed in the video, please leave it in the comments section down below. If you like the video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get out and shoot.